When you in-place edit a component, Inventor can make it easier for you to focus on the component by changing the way other components are displayed. Let's take a look at some options that affect this behavior. First, I'll double-click the glass tube to edit it. Note the other components become transparent. The glass tube is a transparent part, but the other components are very transparent, so the glass tube still stands out. Under Tools, Application Options, on the Display tab, there is a group labeled Inactive Component Appearance. You have an option here called Shaded, which is selected by default. When I clear it and press Enter, the other components disappear. Now it looks like you are editing the part in its own window. Since you are using in-place editing so you can reference the other components, I don't recommend turning this off. Under the Shaded option is a field labeled % Opaque. It's currently set to 25%, which means the other components are 75% transparent. I'll change it to 10%, and the other components are almost invisible, so you can see the glass tube more clearly. I'll change it to 50%, and the other components are more prominent. The graphic system can't calculate transparency when it's more than 66% opaque. I'll set it to 70%, and you can see the components are now opaque. This is one of those settings that are really personal preference. I'll leave the setting at 25% because it seems like a good compromise, but you should experiment with the setting to see if there is a level that works better for you. The Display Edge option colors the edges of the inactive parts. This makes the other components look like a shaded wireframe. Even if I change the color to a light gray, the level has enough features that it's very distracting. I never turn the edges on because it makes the graphics very busy. Next, I'll switch to Assembly tab. The Component Opacity group has two options. The Active Only option is the default setting, and it means just the part or subassembly being edited is opaque. If I switch to All, none of the components are transparent. This doesn't seem useful during in-place editing, so I'll switch it back to Active Only. If you're having trouble seeing the glass tube because it is transparent, you can use a temporary color override. I'll click on the glass tube, and then I'll select Black from the Color Override menu. This is a temporary setting, and you can change it back by clicking on the menu again and selecting Clear Override, which is at the top.